I'm doing very well, my old son. How are you?
I'm doing really well. Appreciate you taking the time to talk with me this morning.
No problem.
Bad Company, by the way, is one of the very few bands, as you may know, being a disc jockey, being in the radio business, one of the perks is going out and seeing all these live shows. And Bad Company I've never seen. So this is going to be a first for me. I'm really looking forward to it.
Well, what you're going to see is a Bad Company show, but it's not, in totality, it's not really Bad Company because I've left the group 10 years ago. This is a Brian Howe show doing Bad Company songs, all the songs that I recorded and all the hits that we had and all the hits that they had before I was with them. So it's a little bit of a misconception calling it purely Bad Company because it isn't.
What made you decide that you wanted to do this for a living?
Well, I'm not sure. I don't know. It was I was a very tiny kid, and my father was a semi-pro singer in England, and so I kind of, if he couldn't get a babysitter, I'd have to go along to the shows, and he'd be singing his songs, and people would be clapping and hollering. And it must have hit me back then, where I thought, wow, this is a pretty cool way to go through your life, as long as you're singing tune a little bit, then people clap and they like you and they throw money at you. I've had other things thrown at me since then, of course. But, no, I think it came from very early days. My father, obviously the genes in the family and stuff. So, yeah, so I actually made my first stage appearance at the age of 3. So it's kind of been a long road.
What was it like to work with Nugent?
It was actually pretty cool. I mean, everyone thinks Ted likes to play this bombastic character, but he's actually not like that at all. When you get him privately, he's actually very quiet and normal. No drugs, no drinking. He believes in a real healthy lifestyle. It's actually a pretty cool lifestyle. People say, it's anti-hunting. You get all the anti-hunters go after Ted. But that doesn't stop them going down the supermarket and buying their dead meat, and that's not the same, man. We didn't kill it. No, you didn't. You hired an assassin to go and get it for you, so it's kind of, I don't know, at least Ted's honest, and he does eat what he kills, and, but working for him professionally was interesting because he runs a very tight ship, it's, there's no messing about. It was a great learning experience, and from there, of course, I went on to join Bad Company. So
now that Bad Company thing, you kind of led the resurgence of Bad Company in the late '80s, early '90s, because they were kind of down for a while. How'd that whole thing about Bad Company come on?
Well, it was really scary actually, because Mick Jones from Foreigner called me and said, "What are you doing?" And I was actually at Ted Nugent's house, and Ted was right next to me. And I said, well, I'm up in Michigan. No, Ted. He said, get out of there, man. There's a band coming together, and you need to be part of it. And it's like, oh, yeah, the weather's really cool up here. And I had to call him back an hour later, and I ended up flying down to New York to meet up with Nick Rouse and Simon Kirk, and we put this nucleus of a band back together, and it was pretty scary, though, because once we started recording, and we didn't have much material, to be honest with you. And it was a bit of a struggle. It took a long time to make the first record, and when we went out on the road, the band's demise since '82, well, actually, the band started, I think, to decline in '78. I suddenly found myself, having left Ted Nugent playing huge arenas, into playing bars, and it was like, oh, this is not good. No, Bad Company playing bars is, oh boy, someone's got to do something here. So I found a producer called Terry Thomas, who I was a big fan of, and I said to Terry, how about you and I writing some songs for Bad Company and trying to turn this thing around, So that's what we did. We spent a lot of time writing songs, and sadly, the other guys resented that, and Nick and Simon were really very, very resentful of the fact that I'd gone out and tried to write with Nick and I tried to write with Simon, but the ideas were very limited ideas. And so with Terry, it was like walking into a forest of ideas. And within the first 2 days, Terry and I had written 6 songs.
You ended up going on to sell 20 million records, too. So
yeah, pretty cool.
Now, whenever you guys first got together as Bad Company, was there any talk about maybe not going on the road under that name, maybe something else?
Yeah.
Because how'd that go down? Because Paul Rodgers, a lot of people just might think, you can't replace him.
Yeah, well, that was my idea, too. And it was like, well, I don't want to call it Bad Company. In fact, we had so many other names, and all the time we were recording, we had a big sheet of paper in the studio where if any of us had an idea for a name, we'd write it on the piece of paper and then we'd vote on it, at the end of the recording. And I think the one that we came closest to using was Automatic, just the name Automatic. And that seemed to sit well with me. It's a modern-sounding name, and it was aggressive, automatic weapon and stuff,
Uh-huh.
But then the record label said, well, it's going to be a lot easier to sell this if we call it Bad Company. And I said, well, that's not the deal, It's like if you call it Bad Company, you're putting me in direct competition with the previous occupant of the microphone.
Right.
And that's not really cool. I'm a new boy. I've come in from television. That's going to cause a lot of friction. Well, we'd like it better than automatic, and we think it'd be easier to sell. I said, yeah, no joking. But they gave us a large lump of money, and the first person to say yes as soon as he heard about the money was Mick Ralph. It was like, oh no, And then Simon buckled, and then at the end, two of them outvote me. So yeah, we suddenly became Bad Company again.
What can we expect from this Saturday night show?
Oh, you're going to get all the hits. You're going to get every hit, the old songs, the later songs, Holy Water, Can't Get Enough, Feel Like Making Love, If You Need Somebody. You name it, you're going to get it. In fact, sometimes we have people call out songs we don't normally do, and we end up doing those as well. So it's the greatest hit package. You're going to know every song. So
what's on the horizon for Brian Howe? Is there a chance for a Bad Company reunion of any sort?
I would like to think so. Because I had a great time. Being in Bad Company was a very nice time. Apart from all the silly stuff. It was a great period for me, and it was a very profitable period for Simon and Mick, too.
Uh-huh.
I don't really know. I mean, as soon as I finish this year's touring, I'm going to be starting a new record, a Brian Howe record, and that will probably take me 3 or 4 months. But you never know,
So this album that you're working on, are these songs that you have written?
Yes, yeah.
Do you got a particular sound in mind? What's this going to sound like? Do you got something in the back of your head? Hey, I want this record to sound like this.
Well, it'll be melodic, but it'll be moody. It's going to be, I don't know how you describe it, really. It's a basic album, guitars, drums, bass, a real basic-sounding rock and roll record, but it's also going to be very melodic.
I am told that I am supposed to ask you about Abby.
Oh, my dog, yeah. Yeah, Abby's the love of my life. She's actually lucky. She's made it through. She's 11 years old right now, and she's
Now, she's had cancer, isn't that right?
Yeah, she developed lymphoma, and her prognosis was pretty much dead within a month. So she had to have some chemo, which wasn't particularly pleasant. She had chemo up until Christmas she was having chemo. She went into remission very early in the chemo stage, but they keep hammering her with chemo. And then at Christmas, she came all clear, although all the vets told me it'll be back. But I've been studying lots of stuff on the Internet. The Internet's a wonderful thing now. You can really get into things. And I discovered that there are certain things that you can put in humans, too, in humans suffering from cancer and numerous types of cancer. There are some wonderful botanicals and mushrooms which are processed and powdered, and if you put that in your diet, it really does stop cancer in its tracks.
Wow.
And so far, Abby is still with me. She's looking fitter than ever. She's the happiest dog in the world, and she's doing incredibly well. Now, I'm not saying that later on down the road it will come back, but at least I know that with the cancer compound, with the mushroom compounds, she at least is feeling fantastic, and she's showing no signs at all of anything coming back as yet.
And you found all this information on the Internet, huh?
Yeah, it's pretty. Every single ingredient on these mushrooms is a proven cancer killer or fighter, and it's pretty powerful stuff.
Now, is that one of those like the secrets the doctors don't want you to know?
No. This is legitimate. This is you can look up all if you go to a pharmacies have them. There's one particular one that she's on right now. It's called AHC. It's just a white bottle that comes from. You can get it from most reputable vitamin stores, I suppose. It's called AHCC. I'm sorry.
Uh-huh.
And if you look it up, all the ingredients that are on that bottle, everything in there is proven by doctors, scientifically proven to be a cancer stopper or a fighter. Apparently, lots of people are actually doing very well on it. It's not just animals, but
wow.
Yeah, it's really cool.
We're looking forward to seeing you Saturday night, man. We got to get ready and scoot. We're looking forward to an outstanding show. We got some fans that are interested in meeting you too, so hope that you're able to get that done too.
Absolutely. When do you want to do that? Before or after the show? It's entirely up to you.
Okay, I think maybe we might do that before the show. I guess it'll kind of depend because we're going to take some folks out for dinner too.
Oh, lovely. Okay, yeah. Well, I'll be very hot and sweaty after the show, so...
Well, that's always best. You can maybe do that Elvis routine and bring some towels and hand those out, too, huh? You going to be in town Friday morning?
Yes, I think I will be.
Yeah, I think we're going to send a limo out to get you on Friday morning. So, yeah, we're looking forward to meeting you, man.
Cool, thank you.